back to my little channel. Today I will make a small response video which is somewhat upsetting to me, but not in a normal upsetting way, I guess. Today I'm going to respond to a kid talking about why we need feminism. Now, why is that upsetting to me? Because every religion will tell you, if you want to indoctrinate someone, get them while they are young. And this is what we see in the next TEDx video. I hope you will enjoy this one.
I'm here today to ask you to teach feminism to the next generation. This is because by the time children grow up to become adults, it might already be too late.
And this is why it scares me. We have to get them while they're young, because once they get older, they might be able to think for themselves. That's the whole business here. We have to get them young so we can indoctrinate them.
My name is Liam Butler, and I am 11 years old. I have feminist parents, I am feminist, and if I do have children, nieces or nephews, I would like for them to also be feminists as well.
This poor child does not know it's being used in a propaganda war. And I don't even blame the child. It's nothing he could have done. I mean, he's been raised to believe that this is true by his feminist parents. The same is true for every other religion out there. Christian children hoping that their nephews will be Christian too, and their children will be Christian too, because it's so good to be Christian. Muslim children thinking it would be a great thing if their nieces and nephews and their future children will be Muslims too, because it's such a great religion. Buddhists hoping that their nephews, etc., 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 etc. This is indoctrination. Clear and simple.
Feminism to me means that everybody can have the same opportunities, that everybody can have the same power, and that everybody can be equal.
How many of the people in the world recognize that he's not talking about feminism, but egalitarianism or equality? But I'm pretty sure that he doesn't know the difference between feminism and egalitarianism. Maybe his parents don't know either. That is possible.
Stereotypes are a danger, because if feminism is not taught to children, they will end up believing in the stereotypes.
The thing is, every society has stereotypes. It's how we address information fast. It's how we judge people, which is not always negative, can be positive as well. It's also how we judge ourselves. It's how we measure ourselves. But do you recognize the religion? Stereotypes are a danger, and if we do not stop children, they will believe in the stereotype. There's a real danger out there. There are jinns, and if you don't behave the way you should, the jinns will take over your life. There is a devil out there, and if you don't believe in what you need to do, the devil will take over your life. Do you recognize the religion?
When you walk into a toy shop, you cannot escape the stereotypes that surround you. There's a pink section for girls and a blue section for boys.
Funny enough, that's because of feminism. Because blue used to be the color for girls and pink used to be the color for boys. But yeah, that's a long, long time ago. It's from the starting of feminism. First wave feminism, people call it nowadays. But in those days, red was the color of men and pink was the color of boys.
Look at this picture, for instance. You can see a girl. We know she's a girl because she's wearing a pink dress.
No, we know it's a baby. We assume it's a girl because she has a pink dress, but in all fairness, having had a baby not too long ago in our lovely family, our kid wore what we put on it. And yeah, we've got a boy, and yeah, he sometimes wore pink. You know why? Because family members gave us something pink for him to wear. And I don't think he minds. Nor do I, to be honest.
She's very pleased to see a doll, also wearing a pink dress. But there is a problem with this message. It's that why can't boys learn how to be good fathers?
Now, obviously, someone told you to do this speech and someone told you what to say, but do you not recognize the assumptions you're putting out there? I mean, who says boys can't play with dolls? Who says boys can't wear pink? None of this is a fact. It's an assertion. But go on.
Look at this picture now. Do you recognize him? That's me. How embarrassing. P.S. The embarrassing fact is that I am small, and it should never be about me having the pram in my hands.
Neither walking with a pram nor being small is embarrassing, so I'm not quite sure why you did that. Probably to get the laughs on your hand or something, I don't understand. Who told you that being small is embarrassing? Or that having a pram in your hand is embarrassing?
And why do the colors matter so much anyway? When I was 3, my dad bought me a toy camera. In the shop, all the black ones had been sold and only pink ones were left on the shelves. When my dad was at the till and the salesman heard that it was for me, he refused to sell the pink camera to my dad. So he had to wait for the most pointless 15 minutes of his life so that the salesman could go up to the storeroom and come back down with a black camera. But no one would have cared.
Well, I'm pretty sure it makes a fetching story at the dinner table come Christmas, but I call bullshit. When you were 3, you would not have remembered this. Never mind the fact that no store owner wouldn't sell the pink one to your father, but rather go look for the last one in the store that is black for 15 minutes. I'm sorry. Bullshit.
The problem with stereotypes is that they affect behaviors. For instance, when someone says ladies first, this promotes the idea that women are defenseless and delicate.
And this is how chivalry died. Ladies first was a way to make women feel special. And now it's a negative thing. Can we then also stop with burning buildings, saving women and children first? No, we can't, because that's how our society survives. Women and children first.
Another classic in my school is girls never fart. I know, and you all know, we all know that this is just not true.
Yeah, of course women fart, girls fart. Let's take another stereotype. Women never lie about rape. Well, of course we know this isn't true either, but it's rather persistent among feminists, isn't it?
But when children hear this all the time, they start to behave differently. For instance, I have long hair before I had even longer hair. People used to confuse me for a girl. So, for instance, if I was in a public toilet, they would ask me to get out. But regardless of how long my hair is, I'm still the same person. It should not matter how long my hair is. I don't want to cut my hair just because people confuse me for a girl. I don't care. Why can't boys have long hair?
It would have really helped you if you understood what stereotypes were. See, the thing is, I have long hair too. So does my boy. And yes, sometimes people think my boy is a girl. I used to have people thinking I was a girl, but that's a long time ago considering I have a beard now. But yeah, so what? I do not fit the stereotype. My son does not fit the stereotype. You do not fit the stereotype. And people need some time adjusting to that. What's the big deal? What's the problem? Ooh, what a lovely girl. He's not a girl, he's a boy. Really? Really, I should know. I'm his dad. Oh, wow. He's got long hair though, doesn't he? Yeah, I like long hair. You can see I have it myself. Right. Well, he's a strapping young lad. Thank you very much, sir. I don't see the issue. But I'm pretty sure feminists do, because it doesn't fit the identitarian politics that they drive. Unfortunately, you're indoctrinated by it. So now people talking to you saying like, oh, wow, are you a girl? No, I'm a boy, is a problem. Why is that a problem? What's a problem if people think of you and you have to redirect their attention? No, I'm not a girl, I'm a boy. Right, oh, I'm sorry, which is usually the response. But yeah, I probably should stop talking now. This is something that affects me, though. This is where I feel feminism is failing our women and our men. Feminism is not only saying, well, we shouldn't all fit in predestined perceptions, and at the same time is saying, well, we should break the predestined perceptions by switching them. So yeah, we should still fit them, but the other way around. This is how pink became a girl color. Because as I said earlier, it used to be a boy color. Because women, feminists, adopted it as their own. Because they were equal as good as men. The thing is, I don't care about stereotypes. And there are plenty of stereotypes about me. So fucking what? I'm not a stereotype. You can identify me with one, but that doesn't define me. So why would it define you? And this is why you don't need feminism. Because it's forcing this thought upon you.
An adult can either dismantle a stereotype or encourage one. For instance, when I was in sports class, there were 2 teams, one with boys and girls, the other one only girls. In the end, both of them were tied up. So when the teacher came along, she declared the girls team the winner just because they had no boys in their team.
Well, in all fairness, that does make sense. Physically, boys, even boys, are stronger and more energetic than girls. So, yes, it's a stereotype, but it's one based on reality. At the same time, one would wonder why there is one group with a boy-girl mix and another group purely girls. So I would wonder why the teacher would have done that. Seems like she was trying to achieve something. But that's a completely different story. And yes, stereotypes are being propagated by adults, but then again also by kids. But that's not the point. A stereotype doesn't define anything. It might influence certain bits of behaviors, but in all fairness, then there is you saying, oi, what's this then?
This reinforces a stereotype. But in my family, we have a game, and the aim is to, when we see a stereotype, call it out. So even when my sister was 3, and we would enter a toy shop, and that she would see a doll wearing a pink dress, she would yell out, stereotype.
Ooh, I got one. A white, male, long-haired, anorak-wearing feminist.
Another time, we were in an art gallery with my mum, and she asked me to notice how the men and the women were in the paintings. I noticed that the men were fully dressed in the main part of the picture, while the women were naked or carrying children.
Yeah, I'm not an art historicus, so I don't know the picture you talk about. Are there pictures like that? No doubt. So history is bad? What am I to make of this?
Me and my sister know how to notify some stereotypes around us because we talk about it with our parents.
Here comes that indoctrination again. Now, I understand that kids learn from their parents. They listen to their parents. They talk with their parents. And we, as parents, should teach our children how to think, not what to think.
But some children don't have adults to talk about these things. Coming to my point, when children grow up to become adults, it might already be too late. As adults, you have a role, and that is to teach feminism to the next generation so that they can grow up in a world with more equality. Thank you.
And this is how deep the indoctrination goes. Some children are not being told of the riches their life in Christ will bring. Therefore, we need you to tell them. Some children never hear about the wealth and power coming from Allah and Muhammad. Therefore, we need you to tell your children. This is indoctrination, religious indoctrination. There is no fact. There is no equality within feminism. I'm not even addressing how there is no equality in feminism. I'm just going to fixate in this video on how this indoctrination is being pushed. It's being pushed by a child that has been indoctrinated himself, and most likely is being pushed onto the stage by parents or other adults around him, like, oh, no, you could do a great speech about being a great feminist. You're such a great feminist. Indoctrinate. The thing is with humans, if you give them responsibilities and they can handle the responsibilities, they usually try to do the best with the given responsibilities that they have gotten. This is true for children especially. If you give a child a task which he can do, and he will get positive rewards for it, he will do his very best to do that task in the way that the ones he respects see fit. And unfortunately, we know that both of his parents are feminists because, well, the very start of the video told us that. I have a small problem with this. The way this child is being raised, and I'm pretty sure the parents might not really mean harm, but the way this child is being raised, he will not be able to think for himself. He will always follow a narrative, and it will be difficult for him to break with that narrative because it has been his life. I feel sorry for this kid. Now, obviously, it's not as bad as kids in Yemen being bombed out of their house, but it's still bad. We need to stop doing this to our children. We need to stop enforcing them. We need them to think for themselves. If they are old and they want to become religious, by all means go ahead. If they are old and they want to become feminists, by all means go ahead. There is a certain point in time where we as parents need to say, yeah, hey, I brought you here and I try to give you the best tools to deal with reality. But now it's up to you. But this boy, he's not being given the best tools. He's been told what to think. He's been told what the problems are. Even if he can't see the problems himself, he has to call them out. Oh, we're in a toy shop. Oh, pink toys. Stereotype. Oh, painting. Naked women and children. Even though the men are dressed. Stereotype. Sorry, but that's not how the world works. Anyway, this is where I'm going to end this one. It is rather upsetting to me. I really have to admit, this is rather upsetting to me. Because I feel for the child. And I hope it will have a good life. Like, share and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Criticism, as always, is more than welcome. I really like to hear whether you think I'm overreacting. Maybe I am. Anyway, I hope to see you all next time.